talking about the gravity gun from Half-Life. We're going to remake this, and this kind of gives us a good opportunity to talk about how physics work in Unreal Engine in a sort of brief sense. But Half-Life Alyx just came out, and the gravity gun's a pretty popular gun from the Half-Life series. So today we're going to make pretty much what you can see here right now. So let's begin, and I'll also show you where to get the gravity gun mesh from and all that stuff. Guys, I just want to mention the Unreal Engine survival game course is up on the Patreon now. We're here in the testing level, and this is actually where we develop the entire game. We create an interaction system with pickups, a true first-person camera, we have a fully modular character that comes with the course, and we make a modular clothing system to go with it. We have an interaction system. For example, lamps that can be turned on and off. Everything is networked, by the way. Lootable chests. The game is also open world and you can play it with other people, and we show you how to actually deploy the game on a dedicated server and launch it with Steam. So if you're interested, the link will be in the description. You can buy the course, unsubscribe, and you'll still have lifetime access. Anyways, back to the video. Alright, so let's begin. I've launched Unreal Engine. I'm using 4.23, and we're going to do today's video in C++. So we'll start by going to C++. We're going to go first person, and I'm going to call it Gravity Gun. There is a bunch of crap that comes with the first person. There's like all this VR stuff that we probably aren't going to need. So we'll start by removing all of that. So we'll click Create Project, and let's begin. So once you're done with all that loading stuff, you should have the editor here in our Gravity Gun project. And like I said, we're going to go into a Visual Studio, which should also have opened up. Over in Visual Studio, I'm going to get to work cleaning up a bunch of the crap that comes with this project, because there's so much VR and just nonsense that we're not going to need for our purposes in this video. So we'll go to the Gravity Gun character.h, and let's just start ripping all this stuff out. So we don't need the muzzle location, or the VR gun, or the VR muzzle location, or the motion controllers. All of that can go. So that's a good start. We're going to get rid of the projectile because we're not shooting any projectiles. The gun offset's going to go. The fire sound, I don't really care. We'll just leave it in, why not? The motion controllers option's going to go. Anything to do with VR, pretty much, we can just rip out of this project. We're not doing any touchscreen stuff. This isn't going to be on a phone. And I'm just going to get rid of this as well. You can see how bloated the character is by default that comes with this project. It has so much stuff in it that we're just not going to need. So yeah, we'll just start ripping all of this out. We'll just keep going here. Basically just follow along and just remove all of the stuff that you see me removing here. VR, touchscreen. Basically if it says VR or touchscreen, we probably don't want it. Gonna get rid of this projectile class thing here. So we'll keep the fire sound and the firing animations, because you might want to have those still with the gravity gun. Gonna get rid of all this stuff. And I think that's pretty much all of it. Nope, I was wrong. There's also enable touchscreen movement is to go. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. Once you've done that, what you want to do is go to save, click on save, and then click on build solution and make sure that we didn't accidentally remove anything that we shouldn't have. So if you click on build, make sure that it successfully builds, and it will successfully build. You'll see here, one succeeded, which means that I didn't rip apart anything that I shouldn't have, or whatever. Our gravity gun is going to have two components to it. When you click the left mouse button, it's going to it's going to pick up an object, right? And then when you let go, it's going to launch that object. So we need to listen to not just on fire, but also we're going to make an end fire as well. And if you come into the setup input component function, we're just going to duplicate the fire event so that we are not only listening for the press of the left mouse button, but we're also listening for the release of the left mouse button. You can see that our character is made up of components up here. Here are all of the default components. We're going to add one more component. This is a scene component. You cannot see a scene component. It literally just represents some location in space. And the reason we have this is because we want to attach the object that we're shooting to some point in front of the player. So we're adding this grabbed object location scene component. The last thing we need to add to our header file is literally an object called setGrabbedObject. So basically this is a function we're going to call. you just tell it what object you want to grab and it will grab it, and we track whatever object you have grabbed in this variable. Because this is a U object, this is a pointer here, it's good to mark it as a U property, and that means that garbage collection will sort of track this pointer and get rid of it when it needs to be gotten rid of. I'm really not sure of a better way of explaining that. But it never really hurts to mark something as a U property, so don't be afraid to put U property on there if you're unsure if you should or not. Alright, it's time to start doing the gameplay logic for the gravity gun. So the first thing to note is that I only want to play the shoot and the animation when you actually end fire. So when you shoot the object that you have grabbed, that's when we want to play the animation, not when you pick the object up. So we're going to move that into the end fire function. And the on fire function, all that needs to do is it needs to do a line trace, check if we hit something that has physics enabled, and if it does have physics enabled, then we're going to grab the object. But what does it mean to grab an object? Well, this is actually quite straightforward, so let's do this first. Set grabbed object, what is it going to do? Well, the first thing it's going to do, it's going to set the grabbed object to whatever object we pass in. And then if the object is valid, we want to attach it to that point in front of the player. And we want to simulate physics off. So we want to turn off simulate physics because we're attaching it to the to this grab object location. And while we're at it, just come into the constructor here and we'll actually create a definition for a grabbed object location. All you need to do is initialize this component using the create default subobject, give it the name, and then we're just going to attach it to the gun because I want the grabbed object to float in front of the gun. And you can set up like the relative location and all that stuff. We're going to do that in the editor because it's a lot easier to do it in there than it is in C++. So you can actually see what you're doing. Rather than C++, you're just guessing. Now, I'm going to be pasting in code, and I know a lot of people hate on the pasting in of code, but it allows me to explain code and not type the whole time, so I hope you can understand why I'm doing that. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to do a line trace. And to do a line trace, or a raycast, as some people know it, you need to come up with some parameters. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a value here, trace range. This is how far I want to do my my raycast for. You can make this a variable that is editable. I'm just going to make it a const variable here. The next thing we want is where are we going to start tracing from? And I want to start at my camera because we're trying to see what item are you looking at. And if you're looking at something, then we can grab it with the gun. And so the endpoint is going to be the camera's location with the forward vector of the camera multiplied by 5,000. And that's just going to get some point off in the distance in front of the camera. Then we need something called a hit result, which is what we're going to store the hit in. And there's also some additional params that you can control. Basically, we're using the collision query params, and this takes a few parameters. Basically, what is the name of your trace? And then we have, do you want to do a complex trace? We don't want to do a complex trace. And do you want to ignore any actors? And we do want to ignore the player itself. We're not trying to pick the player up with the gravity gun, so we want to ignore the player. Okay, so to do the actual line trace, we're going to grab the world, and we're going to call the line trace single by channel function, and this will allow us to pass in a channel. So we're going to use the visibility channel, which basically just means if an object's visible, it's probably going to be able to be hit by this line trace. And this returns a true or false value, so we can actually check if the raycast hit something. But that is not good enough. We actually need to know, is the object that we hit simulating physics? So the first thing we do is we check if we hit a primitive component. A primitive component is like a cone or a mesh, or it's like an object that gets drawn into the world. You can see here's a better description. It's used for various types of geometry. But if the geometry that we've hit is simulating physics in some way, then we're going to set it as our grabbed object. And what that's going to do is it's going to attach it to that point in front of our player, so we can actually hold the grabbed object in front of the player before we actually shoot it. Next up, let's talk about shooting the object in front of the player. How do we launch the object ahead of us? Well, this is actually very easy to do. So the first thing we're going to do is when you release the the left mouse button, we want to check if you are actually holding an object or not. Because if you're not, then there's nothing to shoot. So make sure that we have a grabbed object. And then we're going to come up with a velocity. And here's how we're doing that. So we've got a shoot strength, which I've just made 5,000. I seem to really like the number 5,000, but you could do 20,000 or 1,000 or whatever, but I think 5,000 is a good number. And the shoot velocity is just the forward direction of the camera. So it's the direction that we're looking in multiplied by 5,000. And that's going to cause the object to shoot. So before we shoot the object, we're going to detach it from the grab location, right? Because we're about to shoot it, so we definitely don't want it to stay attached. We're going to turn physics back on, because we need to have physics on to actually shoot the object. And then we're going to add an impulse to the object. So I'll talk about some of the parameters here. Basically, we are telling it the direction to shoot in. You can choose a bone that you want to impact. Obviously, we're not worried about that. And then true will treat it as a change in velocity instead of just adding it to whatever the current velocity is, I believe. Finally, now that we've shot the item, we want to set it to null. There is no item to track anymore, so it doesn't make sense to keep it around. And then we're going to play the shooting, and we're going to play the fire animation. You only want to do these if you actually had an object, so put these inside of your if statement as well. So believe it or not, that's pretty much the whole gravity gun. It's actually quite a straightforward thing. A cool little trick, by the way, that I thought I'd just show you is that if you want to do some debugging later on, you can type scene query stat. This is a macro, and this will add your line trace to be tracked by the Unreal profiling tools. So you can see if this raycast is using up too much performance or something. So that's another thing that you can do. It doesn't really hurt to do that, so I mean you could do it if you wanted to. And then we're going to save, and we're going to hit local Windows debugger, and we'll actually try this out and make sure that it works. By the way, make sure that you close the editor before you run the debugger. We're trying to restart the editor basically, and we're trying to run it with our new code that we did. So we're going to open up the first person CPP, and then open up the first person character here. And you can see that we can actually click and select this grabbed object location. You can see what I'm talking about. There's no, you can't actually see a scene component. It just kind of represents like a transform somewhere. And basically we just want the items to hover in front of the gun. So I'm going to sort of move this so that it's coming out of the gun barrel. And we'll just put it like somewhere ahead of the gun. And then I'm going to compile and I'm going to save. Coming into the level, a bunch of these cubes actually simulate physics. These big ones do as well. So we can pick those up. We might want to do an if check to actually make sure that the mass of the object isn't too big. But one thing I'm noticing is the grab location is way too close to the player. So easy fix, just click on the object location and you can just move it further into the distance. And you can see we can pick it up and shoot stuff. So yeah, you can also check the mass of the object. So you can say that only grab objects with a mass of, 10,000 or less if you wanted to do that as well. I'm not going to bother doing that. It is quite simple to do. Just check your primitive component's mass variable and then you can do whatever you want with it. So for the gravity gun, I will leave the link in the description of the guy that made this, Christian Lagrange. I probably butchered that name, but he did this really awesome gravity gun asset and he has released it under the attribution, Creative Commons attribution license. So I'm going to put the link in the description. Thank you very much to this guy. This is an amazing model. And you guys can actually download the FBX. It comes with all the textures and everything. And all you have to do is import it into Unreal Engine. And I'll show you the settings that I use to do all that as well. Okay, so once you've downloaded the gravity gun, you want to start by importing the model. What you want to do here is drag the gravity gun into the editor, and we're going to actually check that it is a skeletal mesh. Now there isn't any skeletal data, this is a static mesh, but because the current weapon uses a skeletal mesh, it's kind of set up to work in that way. So I'm just going to check that box, and then we'll just import the gravity gun into the editor. Now you could not do the materials, but it looks way cooler with the materials. So I'll show you how to do that. We're going to make a new material, m_. gravity gun. Go ahead and drag all of these textures into the editor. And in the editor, we're literally just going to drag all of these textures into the material editor, because we will be using all of these. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Just drag them all in. This is the name of the base color. So take this one, plug it into base color. Next up, the normal map is very easy to spot. It's this blue one. You just plug that into normal there. This orange one is the emissive color. So this is going to cause the gun to actually glow. Next up, we need to take this one, AO. This is the ambient occlusion map, so plug that into ambient occlusion. Next up, if you hover over this one, this is R, so this is the roughness map. And then this one here is the metallic map, so go ahead and drag that into metallic. And that's pretty much the entire texture setup. So what we can do now is save and apply. Then open up the gravity gun and give it the material gravity gun. And so now if we look at the gravity gun, it actually looks really nice with that material applied. So how do we give our character the gravity gun? Well, all you have to do is open up the first person character blueprints, go into the gun here, and then just change it to the gravity gun. You can see that the gravity gun is kind of massive. It's a little bit too big. So let's just take the scale down a bit. We'll do like 0.7. That looks good to me. Click on the arms. And then open up these mannequin arms, go to the skeleton, and then we have this thing called grip point. And if you right click on the grip point and add the gravity gun as a preview asset, you can see what it would look like holding the gravity gun. And so I'll show you how that works. So just click on the animation tab here, and then sort of just take this, put it over here. And so what you can do, and I'm not going to spend too much time doing this because I am lazy, is you can actually take this. In fact, let's do it this way. Hit play, and then in this editor, you can move the grip point around and use that to find a good looking spot for the gravity gun. So just move it around. I'm not going to be too weird about it. I'm not going to spend hours moving it around because again, I'm pretty lazy, but that's how you position the gravity gun to actually look good when you're holding it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've put a video out, but yeah, subscribe. I've got lots of good videos and I'll be putting more out, so subscribe because you don't want to miss them. Alright, see you guys.